Good morning, students. So I'm sure you all would have had a great Diwali festival, and I'm sure you would have utilized it both for enjoyment, recreation, as well as for updating your knowledge, your skills in all the subjects of our course. You said when you are clicking on the notes of joint product, PDF of process costing is opening. Please check. As far as I remember, I have uploaded the right PDF. Students, can you all
Recording
please...
stopped. Recording in progress.
Yes, students, as far as I understand, I have uploaded this one only. Still, if you feel there is some problem, I'll just go back and re-upload it for your reference. In the meantime, you may just let me know if you all have any doubts in any of the points that we have discussed till now, so that we can first take up those points, and then accordingly we will proceed with today's topic. So I'm being informed by one of our participants that the upload is not what they were expecting. So I'm re-uploading it. In the meantime, I request you all that if you all have any questions, doubts, please put it across to me. Yes, students, let me know your doubts. Yes, beta, you are right. It is wrongly uploaded. It should have been. No problem. I'll do that immediately. Okay. In the meantime, please let me know your doubts, students. In whatever we studied till now, if there is any doubt, there is any question, please let me know. You may unmute also. We completed our revision up to the previous topic in the last lecture, and now we are on the next topic. So yes, I've uploaded it. Maybe you'll get it soon. So in the meantime, students, let me know your questions and doubts. Yes, Kiran beta, go ahead. I've unmuted you. Kiran, go ahead beta.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
सर जब इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट्स का कैलकुलेशन करते हैं तो जो यूनिट्स दूसरे प्रोसेस में ट्रांसफर करनी होती है उसमें मेरी हमेशा मिस्टेक्स हो जाती है.
जैसे कि मुझे एक एग्जांपल दीजिए आप.
और जैसे अपना लास्ट का क्वेश्चन का ही ले ले, 10th क्वेश्चन का. तो उसमें अपनी जब प्रोसेस अकाउंट बनाते हैं वहां तक तो ठीक रहता है. जब इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट कैलकुलेट करती हूँ तो मेरी हमेशा उसमें मिस्टेक हो जाती है.
बेटा मिस्टेक कहाँ पे होती है? फीफो मेथड में या वेटेड एवरेज में? फीफो मेथड में होती है तो डिफरेंस लेने में होती है.
फीफो में होती है सर, फीफो में होती है.
तो बेटा फीफो में दो ही जगह है मिस्टेक होने की. एक, आपने ओपनिंग में से जितना आउटपुट बनाया, आपको नीचे जो यूनिट्स इंट्रोड्यूस है उसमें से बैलेंस आउटपुट बनाना है. क्या आप वो बैलेंस ले रहे हैं या पूरा ले रहे हैं? आप वो चेक करिए.
सर जैसे अपना 7800 हमारा प्रोसेस अकाउंट से सेकंड प्रोसेस में ट्रांसफर होने की यूनिट आई ना सर, और उसमें एबनॉर्मल लॉस था अपना 300. तो क्लोजिंग WIP 1200 था. तो प्रोसेस 2 में इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट्स कितनी ट्रांसफर होंगी? ये
बेटा मैंने वही आपको मार्क किया हुआ है इधर. ये देखिए कि जब भी हम फीफो और वेटेड एवरेज करते हैं तो हमारे पास जो मिस्टेक होने की जगह है वो क्या है? वो ये है कि आपने इधर डिफरेंस लिया. ये वाला आपको डिफरेंस लेना था बेटा. डिफरेंस कैसे आएगा? आप प्रोसेस अकाउंट में देखिए आपके टोटल यूनिट्स कंप्लीटेड ट्रांसफर्ड कितने हैं. इस एग्जांपल में है 19500. उसमें से ओपनिंग में से आप कितना बना चुके हैं? 2250. तो 19,500 में से 2250 माइनस करिए, वो यहाँ पे आएगा। क्या आप वो माइनस करके ले रहे हैं बेटा?
जी सर।
चेक करिए।
सर वो आपका जब प्रिंट मतलब जब प्रिंट आउट निकालते हैं उसमें देखते हैं तब मेरा सही हो जाता है, लेकिन जब मैं अपने से उसको अटेम्प्ट करती हूँ तो मेरी मिस्टेक हो जाती है।
बेटा वापस मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ, मिस्टेक क्या हो रही है?
यही होती है सर, कुछ प्लस माइनस करने में कुछ होता
तो
है।
बेटा फिर वो तो आपको ध्यान देना पड़ेगा ना, ध्यान देना पड़ेगा ना। इससे तो देखिए ना, मैंने
सर
रेड में जो
तो
यहाँ पे लिखा
अपना
हुआ है वो मिस्टेक वाली एरियाज ही है, आपको उसी पे तो ध्यान देना है।
जैसे अपना ये 1915 19,500 अपना यूनिट प्रोसेस 2 में ट्रांसफर हुआ ना सर।
बराबर।
और उसमें से फिर हमको क्या क्या माइनस करना होगा? नॉर्मल लॉस माइनस कर देंगे।
बेटा आप ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं? ये देखिए, नॉर्मल लॉस 2275 इधर आ गया,
जी
अब
सर।
नॉर्मल लॉस या गेन इधर आ गया। इसमें कुछ माइनस नहीं करना है। केवल जब आप प्रोसेस टू यहाँ पे लिखने वाले हैं,
जी
तो वो
सर।
लिखते वक्त आपको ये प्रोसेस टू जो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है उसमें से ये माइनस करके बैलेंस लिखना है बस। आपको माइनस एक ही फिगर करनी है,
जी
बाकी
सर।
सारी फिगर्स कॉपी पेस्ट होंगी प्रोसेस में से। जैसे WIP 2500, इधर 2500 आ गया,
जी सर।
तो ये तो सारी फिगरें कॉपी पेस्ट आ गई बेटा। आपको केवल और केवल ये एक फिगर का ही ध्यान देना है, इसी का डिफरेंस लेना है। ध्यान में आया बेटा आपको?
जी सर।
यस, तो बेटा वो आपको ध्यान देना पड़ेगा। इसीलिए मैंने यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी रेड मार्क किया हुआ है कि कौन से एरियाज है जहां पे मिस्टेक होती है। उन्हीं एरियाज को आपको बहुत ध्यान से फोकस करना है। अगर आप करते हैं तो आपका 100% क्वेश्चन राइट हो जाएगा बेटा। इसलिए मार्क करके दिया हुआ है एरियाज ऑफ मिस्टेक, प्लीज बेटा उसी पे ध्यान दीजिए। और वो आपको ही देना है, वो आपको और कोई नहीं हेल्प कर सकता इस बारे में। और
जी
इसीलिए मैंने हाईलाइट कर दिया एरिया ऑफ मिस्टेक्स, प्लीज उस पे ध्यान दीजिए।
जी
राइट?
सर। जी सर, थैंक यू सर।
यस बेटा। Yes, students. Any other doubts with anyone? Bhumika is asking, sir, in FIFO method, for opening material will be 100% complete. For overheads and labor, percentage will be percentage, not yet complete. Example, labor and overheads 80%. So for calculation, yes, beta. Yes, you are 100% right. So, वापस I'll show you, beta. सी जब आप खुद से प्रैक्टिस करते हो ना तो ये सारे डाउट्स आते हैं, इसलिए खुद से प्रैक्टिस करिए। सी आई थिंक भूमिका यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पार्ट। सो इसलिए मैंने ये जो वर्किंग दिखाया है ना भूमिका, ये वहां पे लिखिए। इट विल मेक योर कैलकुलेशन एरर फ्री। ये पहला 100 और 100, ये क्या है? आपका आउटपुट है जो आपने बनाया है। और आउटपुट क्या बनाया है आपने? प्रोसेस टू क्योंकि फाइनल प्रोडक्ट होता है इसलिए वो 100 है। इसमें से माइनस क्या करना है? ये 100 और ये 60, which is the percentage of opening WIP given in the sum। तो ये परसेंटेज आप माइनस करिए। तो जब आप माइनस करेंगे देन यू गेट द परसेंटेज दैट यू हैव टू राइट ओवर हियर, एंड विच यू आस्क्ड इन योर क्वेश्चन इज 100% राइट। ठीक है? इज दिस क्लियर टू ऑल? ओम बेटा, लेट मी फर्स्ट टेक अप व्हाट वी आर हैविंग एट हैंड। राइट बेटा? I have solved all the types of questions in the class. If there is anything extra, beta, let us take it other time, right? Swati, beta, see, instead of me uploading more questions, I will again request everyone kindly take up our institute's past exam questions, MTP, RTP questions, and please solve them. आप उतना भी solve करते हैं, I can assure you it is a very, very good possibility that you will score full marks in those particular questions. So, Swati, for extra practice, even if I upload, it will come from there only. Yes, Om beta, if there is time, I'll definitely take up the additional question doubts, beta. Fine? Okay. Any further questions, students? With anyone relating to any of the pointers that we have discussed till now, in any of the topics that we have discussed, please ask so that I can understand and I can answer you. And then accordingly, we can go to the further topics. Yes, anybody? Further questions, students? No? So then, should I start? today's deliberation? Now, our today's topic, students, is the topic of joint products and byproducts. Now, please understand one thing. From one point of view, this topic, you can say, is a continuation of process. That is a logical, you can say, point of view. But whether it is continuation or not, it does not affect us when we are solving the sum. But again, just for the concept purpose, let me explain what is this joint product, byproduct, how it is coming. So let us say, as we studied in the previous session, you have process accounts, process 1, 2, 3. You do some processing here, you get output, which becomes input of this. Again, you do some processing here, you get output, which becomes input of this. Again, you do some processing here, you get the final product, which is transferred to finished goods account. Now, there is a possibility that when you are getting the final product, that final product may not be one material or one output. It may be multiple products or outputs. So the best real life example which I will give you to make you understand this is crude oil. So as we all know, India imports crude oil from various Saudi countries, and today one of the major importers, major suppliers to India of crude oil is Russia. So we bring the crude oils to our oil refineries. In these refineries, the crude oil is processed in different stages till you get the final output. Now, what is this final output that you get? You get the various products arising from the crude oil. That may be petrol, diesel, kerosene, and one of the items is the waste that you get during this particular processing, that is the grease. Now, after processing this crude oil for 3 stages, which is called as 3 processes, at the end of the third process, you are getting these final products, let us say. Now, this third process in which you get all the final products separated is called as the split off point. Why split off? Because up till now you had only one item, crude oil, that was refined and it became refined crude oil. The refined crude oil came here, you further refined, it is still crude oil. Again, this refined crude oil comes here, and now when you further refine it, you get your output, which is these different products. Now, since you are getting this product separated in this third process, in my example, it can be any process, first process, second, third, fourth, fifth, any process. In my example, it is third process. So third process is technically called as the split off point or split off process. Now, as you can understand from the name, why it is called as split off? Because it is in this process that one common raw material gets separated, gets split. Hence, this is called as split off point. Now, once you get your final products, first possibility is you may sell it immediately. Or another possibility is instead of selling it immediately, you can further process it. So let us say this petrol which I get here in third process, I am not immediately selling it. I bring it further, and this petrol is further refined to make a more better type of petrol, which is speed, which is available in our markets. I'm sure you all would have seen this, right? Similarly, this diesel which I'm getting here, instead of selling it immediately, I don't sell it immediately. I do further process on diesel and I make it a more refined, a more better version of diesel, which is called as power. Again, we get this in market. You get both types of petrol. One is the normal petrol or a better petrol, which is slightly costlier because some more processing has been done on that. So all this is further processing. Now you can sell at this stage. That is, you can sell after further processing. So please understand these things conceptually. What this chapter is going to deal with is very simple. It is very mechanical, but for that, understanding this basics is very important so that you can understand what we are going to discuss further. Now, pay attention, students. The point is that either you sell it here or you further process and sell it here, right? So when we are talking about this, that you can sell it here or further process and sell it further. Now, in this particular case, the point is we have to do certain calculations, and most importantly, we have to do decision making. What are these calculations and what are these decision makings? Let us understand. So firstly, as you can see, we have got this final product in the third process, which is now technically called as the split off point. Now, for bringing your raw material to this third process and getting the output, you have been incurring certain cost in each of these processes. So in each of these processes, you have incurred certain cost. The total of all these costs which you have incurred till you get the final product is now called as joint cost. Why it is joint cost? Because this cost is incurred commonly for all the four products: petrol, diesel, kerosene, grease. I hope you all are getting this, students. I'm going slow so that you can understand the concept. Now, all the processes, that is process 1, process 2, process 3, the cost incurred here combined is called as joint cost. And since this cost is incurred commonly for all these products that you are getting now, that is why this cost, since it is common for all the products, is called as joint cost. Now, this chapter requires that whatever is the joint cost, you divide between your products. That is why in this chapter, the first thing that I'm asked to do is apportionment of joint cost. Right? Now, we have to apportion, that is, we have to divide this cost between our products. That is the first thing we are required to do. Second thing that we are required to do is that we are required to make or take some decision. Decision making about what? About when to sell these products. You'll ask, sir, what do you mean by when to sell? First, I can sell them immediately when I got the product separated. That is, I can sell it here itself once I got them separated. If I do this, this is called as selling at split off point. Or the second possibility, second option with me is I can further refine the petrol, make it speed. I can further refine the diesel, make it power, and sell it after this. That is after so I have both these options. Now, please understand, students, these both options may or may not be available for all the products. Like, let us assume kerosene can be sold only here. That is at the split off point. So there is no question of further going ahead and finding out or doing whether kerosene can be further processed or not. That option is not available. So there is no need of any decision making. Kerosene will be sold here itself. These two products can be further processed. So the question comes is whether I should sell petrol or I should sell speed. That is, decision making is required. Whether I should sell diesel or I should sell power. Decision making is required. So only where a product is capable of being sold in the market after further processing, then only this question of decision making would arise. So, as I said, there are possibilities. Now, these are the two things which we are required to do in the question. One is distributing the joint cost. The other is decision making. Now, for distribution, we simply require to do in a very simple manner. We require to find out this total joint cost, which is generally given in the sum. So you need not do any costing here. You need not prepare any process here. So generally, in this sum of joint cost, the total joint cost, which is the total of all the processes up to the split off point, the cost incurred in all these processes up to the split off point is joint cost. That is generally given in the sum. You just have to take that joint cost and apply one of the ratios so that you can distribute this joint cost amongst your products. Now, what are these possible ratios in which you can divide or distribute? First is the ratio of physical units. So you may be given the output units. You take those output units and divide your joint cost in this ratio. Second is, the second most common method is sales value at split off point. Now, as we saw, these products could be sold at split off point. In my example, you can sell all these products at split off point. So find out the sales value at which these products would get sold, and taking this sales value as the ratio, you can divide the joint cost. The third most common method is net realizable value method. In this method, we will divide the joint cost using the NRV as the ratio. Now you'll ask me, sir, what is this NRV? So NRV has to be calculated as sales value after further processing. So here we had sales value at split off. Similarly, if these products can be further processed, you have another sales value, which is sales value after further processing. So take this sales value, which is after further processing. From that, subtract further processing cost. Subtract any commission, profit, which is attributable to further processing. So you take the further processing sale value. From that, deduct the further processing cost, deduct any further commission, marketing cost, any such cost or any profit is given which is specifically applicable or attributable to further processing. Deduct this. What is left is NRV. Now, just for your information, students, this is generally not given in the sum. So practically for all solving purposes, your NRV is sales value after further processing minus further processing cost. I hope this is clear. But theoretically, it is sales value after further processing minus further processing cost minus commission, marketing cost, profit, which is attributable to further processing. If given in the sum, this is also subtracted, which is practically not given. You get NRV. Now this NRV becomes your ratio in which you will distribute the joint cost. Yes, Kiran, you are right. Apportionment of joint cost, distribution of joint cost is one and the same. It simply means dividing the joint cost. See, understand logically, you did 3 processes, 1, 2, 3. And after doing these 3 processes, you got some final product, which is not a single item. It is 4 different items in my example. Now, when you get 4 different items, obviously, one thing is very simple, that these 4 items, these 4 products have come into existence by incurring this common cost. So this common cost is applicable, attributable to all 4 products commonly. But since we have to do costing of each product separately, we need to find out price of each product separately. Hence, I need to divide this joint cost between these products. This is logical. So whatever is your common cost, joint cost, you will divide it amongst all the products in some ratio. What will be that ratio? It can be either physical units or sales value at split off or the NRV. Now, besides this, there are some more methods, but they are never used or they are not applicable. Hence, we are not going to discuss them even in our module. They have given this only as additional methods for our knowledge and academic purposes. So here also I'm just informing you for your knowledge purposes. Another is sales value after further processing. Another is appointing an expert who will do some research and give you some ratio. Another is some contribution margin method. So these are some more methods, but practically they are not so much in use. This is clear to all students. So we have to solve the sums by one of these methods. Now a common question that may come to your mind is sir, out of these three methods, which method we should use when we are distributing the joint cost? Answer is simple. First is check the question thoroughly. See what method the question is asking you to use. We have to solve the sums by whatever method the question has asked me to use. If it says physical units, I'll use physical units as the ratio. If it says sales value at split off, I'll use that. If it says NRV, I'll use that. The main question is, what if it does not specify any method? If it is not specifying any method, then you have to use one of these methods, whichever you find more convenient or whichever data is available in the question. You can use one of those methods. Yes, Shoaib, you're right. So that is why I'm going to explain that. You're right, Shoaib. So is this clear? Any doubts with the students? So these are the different methods by which you will divide the joint cost amongst the joint products. Fine, students? So two things we have to understand: apportionment of joint cost, and second is decision making. Decision making, I'll just explain you after maybe one or two sums on apportionment, so that first apportionment part is clear, then we will go to decision making part. Fine, students? So kindly check and download this material so that you have it for your easy reference. Now see, these are the different exam questions which we generally get in our exams relating to this topic. I've just categorize it by taking initially the basic type of questions and then the advanced type of questions. So first I've selected this question to start with. So the question is like this: Sunmoon Limited produces 2,30,000, 25,000, 20,000, 75,000 units of its 5 different products A, B, C, D, E in a manufacturing process. And now please pay attention, read it carefully. It is selling these products at these prices except D. So there are 5 products. However, out of these 5 products, D is something which cannot be further processed. So what they are saying, except D, the remaining can be further processed. So A, B, C, E, these 4 products can be further processed. D cannot. So D could be sold only at split off. It cannot be further processed. So please understand this. Even if you are further processing the remaining 4, D will still be sold at split off point only, means it will be sold as it is without any further processing, because that is not applicable to D. Now, for the other products, whenever they are further processed and sold, these are the prices that they realize. Fine. So this is the data about the sales at split off or after further processing. Now, further what they have explained is, they have given us data of cost. What is the cost? Raw material has costed 35.9 lakhs. Manufacturing expenses has costed you 5.47 lakhs, right? And all these have to be absorbed in the products using the NRV method. So they have specifically asked you to adopt the NRV method. Now, further information that is given in the question is that the further processing cost of A, B, C, and E D they have not given because D cannot be further processed. So the further processing cost given for these products is this. You are required to prepare the following. So what are the things that is asked? First, statement showing income, assuming none of the products are further processed. So you are not processing any further products. You are only selling them at split off point. Second, they are asking you to show income statements, assuming that all the 4 products are further processed and then sold. So we have to prepare 2 profit statements. One, if products are being sold at split off, all products, or 2, if 4 products are sold after further processing, and obviously D is sold at split off only. And then they have asked you second part, which is the decision making part. I'll come to that later. Let me first take you to the basic question. So we start solving this question. Now, first question, I'll just find out the joint cost first. How much is the joint cost? 35.9 lakhs is raw material and 5.47 is processing. So your total joint cost is 41.37 lakhs. Right? Now, the first thing that I need to do is apportionment of joint cost. Because without apportioning the joint cost, you cannot find out the profit, because profit would be the sales value of each product minus the cost of that product. But for each product's cost, we have to first do apportionment. Now remember one thing, the method that is specifically asked in the question is NRV. And NRV, as I explained above, has to be first computed. How it is computed? You take the sales value after further processing, subtract the further processing cost, subtract these details if given in the question. The balance is the NRV. So we'll do that. So particulars A, B, C, D, E. Now what I have to do is I have to take sales value after further processing. From that, I have to deduct further processing cost. There is no commission, profit, etc. given separately. So only I have to deduct this. After deducting this, what I will get is the NRV, that is the net realizable value, which will become my ratio. Right? Now, 2 lakh units. Now, please take the right figures. If by chance there is some mistake, everything will go in the dustbin. So 2 lakhs is the quantity multiplied by further processing price, which is 25. So I'm talking about product A, 2 lakh units into 25. So the value is 50 lakhs. Let me take the amounts in thousands. So 50 lakhs. Product B, 30,000. And the price is 17 after further processing. I hope this is clear, students. Then for product C, price is 12. And this is 25, right? So 25,000 into 12, it is 300,000. Now D, product D is not being further processed. So for D, you will sell it at split off only. So the price of D at split off is 10. So 20,000 into 10. Right, students? I hope you all are getting everything, whatever I am doing. There is no doubts with any of the points. If there is any question or doubt, please feel free to ask. Right? Then last product E, 75,000 units we are producing, and it is getting sold after further processing for 20. So 75,000 into 20 will give me how much? It will give me 150,000. So these are the sales value after further processing. I hope everybody is getting this. Nobody is having any questions or doubts in this. Right? Now, what are my further processing costs given? 1250, 150, 50, 150. Right, students? Kindly cross check if all workings are correct so that we can further proceed. Right? Now, once I subtract this, I get these figures. Now, these are the figures of NRV, that is net realizable value. And now remember, students, this becomes your ratio for apportioning joint cost. Now, the joint cost which I'm supposed to apportion, which I'm required to apportion in this particular question, I will apportion it using this ratio. So joint cost apportioned in ratio of NRV. How much is my joint cost? My joint cost is 41,37,000 apportioned in this ratio. Right? Chalo, do the working at your end. I'll also do my working. Students, did you get the answer? Kindly share it with me. Share the figures that you have got. 2625, 252, 252, 175, 140, Perfect. So I hope everybody got this. Nobody has any doubts in this. Perfect, students. No doubts. Great. Now we proceed with finding the answers to our question. So what is the question? We are required to find out income forecast. Income forecast means finding out the profit, which is now very simple. Income forecast if all products are sold at split off point. Particulars A, B, C, D, E. Sales value at split off. This is important. Minus the joint cost that we just apportioned. So you get the income, that is profit. Similarly, P part. Income forecast if all products are sold. Achha, when I'm saying all products, students keep in mind it is except D, because D cannot be further processed, so it will be by default sold at split off only. Are sold after further processing. Particulars A, B, C, D, E. Sale value after further processing minus joint cost that we apportion minus further processing cost. So now what is left with you is again income, which is your profit. Please take the figures correctly, students. Now we already have sales value 50, 510, 300, 50, 510, 300, 200, 1500. Then we have the joint cost 26, 25, 252, 175, 252, 175, 140, 945. And we also have the further processing cost 1250, 150, 50. 1250, 150, 50 dash and again 150. So these are my figures of income computation if products are further processed. If they are sold at split off, see, joint cost is same what we just computed. So I'm copy pasting it. Sorry. Joint cost is this 2625, 252, 175, 140, 945. Now just pay attention. Sales value at split off. Be very clear. Sales value at split off is your quantity multiplied by the selling price at split off, that is 17, 13, 8, 10, 14. Is this clear? Correct, students? So now 17 into 2 lakhs 34 lakhs. 13 into 30,000. 3,90,000. 8 into 25 is 4 lakhs. Sorry, it is 2 lakhs. 8 into 25 is 2 lakhs. 10 into 2 lakhs. Sorry, 10 into 20,000 is 2 lakhs. And 14 into 75,000. How much it comes to, students? $10.50. So I get the income forecast, right? 775, 138, 25, 60, 105. Right, students? No doubts? Correct? So 11, 25, 4. 60. So these are my income forecast if products are sold either at split off point or after further processing. Please go through this. Let me know if you have any questions, any doubts in this before I can take you to the next part of this question, which is the decision making part. Yes, students, anybody, any questions? Students, any questions? Any doubts, any questions? Clear, understood. Okay, fine. Now let me take you to the second part of this question. Second part is what? This is the decision making part. Can you suggest any other production plan whereby the company can maximize its profits? So presently the company is earning some profit. So we'll just find out what is the company profit also. So you had the product wise income forecast. Now let us go to the company's income forecast. It is simply total of this. This is the company's income forecast, right? So it is 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 lakhs, 3,000 in the first case. In the second case, 12, 13, 17, 1773. Now the question is, can you better this income forecast? Can this be even further improved? That is the second part of the question. Can you suggest any other production plan whereby the company can further improve its profits? If yes, Then submit a statement showing income forecast arising out of the adoption of this plan. Now, this is the decision making part, students. So whatever we were doing now was, till now, the first part was relating to your basic answering, that is finding out income or profits. This was part one. Now in part two, I'm supposed to suggest a production plan. Now what is this suggestion? Suggestion is, now see, in this sum, since you already have the profits in front of your eyes, you can simply by comparison decide which one is better. So for A, further processing is better. For B, split off is better. For C, again further processing is better. Anyways, D cannot be further processed, so by default it is split off. And for E, so suggestion, what suggestion I'll give? Comparing the profits, we suggest that A, C and E should be further processed, and B and D should be sold at split off point. Is this fine, students? Now what they have asked you to do is, whatever suggestion you are giving, again present income statement. So income forecast for the above suggestion. Same format, particulars A, B, C, D, E. Now sales value, it may be at split off or it may be after further processing. Now either of the two, depending upon what is your case, minus joint cost minus further processing cost, and I will get the final incomes. Now here I have to be a bit cautious. I have to take the correct figures. So for A, I have decided further processing. So I'll take further processing sale value. For C, again I have decided further processing. And for E, again I have decided further processing. So these sales values I have copied from here. Now for B and D, I'll take these sales values, which is at split off. Now from this, I will deduct the joint costs, which would remain same. It is same in either of the scenarios. And also I'll deduct further processing costs, but not from B and D, because these are going to be sold at split off point only. So what is the further processing cost? It is 1250. It is 50 and 150. Now again, I get my incomes for this particular production plan. So it is 1125, 138, 75, 60 and 405. And again, I find company's income. It will be the total of this. So how much it comes to? 12, 13, 14, sorry, 12, 13, 17, not 14, it is 17, 1798, 1803. So see, the company's profit is highest in this. In the first option, it was 1103, second 1773, now it is 1803. So it is the maximum in this option, and that is why this was our suggestion. So the suggestion is, what is another production plan? The other production plan could be some products at split off, some after further processing. I hope this is understood and clear to everyone. Anybody having any questions or doubts, students? Okay, Om has understood. What about others? Has everybody else understood this? Okay. Okay, Bhumika is also saying clear. Chalo. Second question. Again, something similar is required. And since something similar is required, we'll have to be very cautious with the language, whatever is the details given. So let us see what is given. A company operates a chemical process which produces four products KLMN from a basic material. The company's budget for the month is as under. Now this total becomes your joint cost. Fine. Any questions, students? So 32,480. So your total joint cost is 32 plus 17 is 49 and 50,000, right? Now, further details are products are KLMN, quantities are this, sales is this, additional processing cost is this. Now see here, nothing is mentioned about sales is which sales, at split off or further processing. Then one will continue reading the question, but since here they have given additional processing cost, hence we can also presume that these sales are after further processing. But anyways, once we read the question further, you will get further hint. Now, the company presently intends to sell the products L at split off point without further processing. The remaining products are sold after further processing. So anyways, presently also, as I said, you'll get a hint. So they have already mentioned that presently, except L, all three are sold after further processing. Now, the management has been advised that it could be possible to sell all the four products at split off. So you have this choice of selling it at split off. And in that case, the selling prices at which it could be sold is this. So these are your selling prices. Now, what you have to do is you have to first apportion the joint cost on the basis of sales value at split off point. So here I've taken the other method where you have to apportion the joint cost taking the ratio of sales value at your split off point. Now we can just find out sales value here itself. So you have 16,000 into 4. So my sales value for K is 64,000, right? 200 into 28. So it is 5600. 2000 into 8. So it is 16,000. And 360 into 40. 144, right? 360 into 40. So this is 14,400. So I get my values. Now, what are we supposed to do? First, prepare statement showing apportionment of joint cost. 1. Second, prepare statement showing product-wise and budgeted profit based on the proposal, the original proposal that L at split off and remaining 3 after further. Then prepare statement to show product-wise and total profit loss if alternative strategy to sell all the products at split off is adopted, and then again recommend any other alternative. So as you can see, you will find that the questions are same here also, except that here the method is the other method required. So we will solve it by the other method also. So the method to be taken is sales value at split off. So same working will continue. Here my question numbers are Roman 1. So first is apportionment of joint cost. Method is sales value at split of point, right? So the method given is sales value at split of point, particulars K, L, M, N. Now I'll take the joint cost and I will apportion it in ratio of sales value at split of. What is this ratio? This ratio we just computed 64,000, 5,600, 16,000, 14,400. This becomes your ratio. I'm just mentioning ratio 64,000. So 640. Right? I've taken this. So 56, 160. See, when you're reducing the zeros, please be cautious. 60, 160 and 144. 60 and 144. Right? So 200 plus 800 is 1000. So 1000 divided by 50,000, which is our joint cost. So I get 50. I'm just doing oral calculations. Kindly use calculators. So we had computed joint cost to be 50,000. Total of all this comes to me as 1000. So I get 50. So 50 into 640 is amount rupees in thousands. So here I'm getting 32,000. Here I'm getting 2.6. Here I'm getting 8,000. And here I'm getting 7.2. So these are my amounts of joint cost apportioned. Kindly cross-check, students. Hope you all are getting this again also. Now my second part. Somebody saying it is 2.8. Yes, beta, you're right. It is 2.8. Yes, 2.8. Perfect. Now second. Second is profit if all products except L are sold after further processing. So same particulars K, L, M, N. Now we have to find out profit after further processing. So it will be sales value after further processing minus joint costs minus further processing cost. This will be my first profit. And then the next profit is profit if all products are sold at split off. K, L, M, N. Sales value at split off minus joint cost. Again, what I will get is my profit. Now, what is the joint cost? 32,000, 2.8, 7.2. This is the joint cost. 32, 2.8, 7.2. Other details I'll get from the question. Further processing is 28.8, 16 and 6. Correct? 28. And 6.6. Right? Now, sales value. 1,09,600. 5,600. 30, 21,600. 30, 21,600. What is the sales value at split off? We had computed here 64,000, 5,600. 16 and 14,400. So profits are 32, 2.8, 8, 7.2. Here it is 60, 49, 40, 4, 6, 13.8. Just cross-check, students. Is this correct? So these are my profits at both these stages. Budgeted profit of company. Yes, students, is this fine? Is this correct? Are you all getting the same figures what I'm getting? So 7.2, 2.8 is 10, 18. So here company profit is 50,000. Here 48.8, 2.8, so 51.6, 57.6, and 57 and 764, 65.4. Correct? Now, what is further question? Again, same question, recommend. Now we all have done that recommendation. It will be simply by comparing profits. So here it is further process. This anyways cannot be further process. So split off, further process. And again, the same income statement for both the options. Right, students? I'm just not repeating the income statement again for this revised option. Now I'm sure you can again prepare it like this by taking the sales value of the respective scenario. Wherever further process is the case, you'll take further process. Wherever split off is the case, you'll take split off. So that statement you need to prepare here so that you will get your final answer. Fine, students? Now these two were the basic exam questions carrying around 5 to 6 marks. Now let me take you to slightly, may not be called as advanced, but still a bit lengthier question carrying 8 marks and also requiring some different type of calculation. But before I take you to this advance, let me take you to another 4-mark question, which I have named as direct method. Direct method of what? Of decision making. Now you'll ask me, sir, what is this direct method of decision making? For this, let me explain you something first. So now see, in both these sums, the first sum and the second sum, where I had to take the decision that what should I do, whether I should sell after further processing or I should sell at split off. What we did is in both these sums, we first computed our incomes or profits at split off, after further processing, and then by simply comparing the profit figures, I could directly get the answer. Now this is very simple method of decision making, right? That is comparing profits. But this is a lengthy method because for this you have to first do apportionment of joint cost, then find out profit at one stage, find out profit at other stage, and find out the decision by comparing the profit. Similarly, see in the third sum also same thing happened. We had to first do apportionment of joint costs, then finding out profit here. The first stage given in the question was further processing. The second stage asked in the question was split off. And then by comparing the profits of both these stages, we could take the decision that, okay, I will do like this. So there, it is very simple, but this method has a very big drawback that this method requires you to first do three workings: apportionment, profit, profit. Now this method is suitable. This method should be followed when it is specifically given in the question like it was given in the first two questions. What? That do apportionment, find out profit, and then do decision making. If the question makes requirement of all these things, then anyways, you are getting marks for each of these workings, so you will do this working. But let us say my question is only asking me to do decision making. It is not asking me to do apportionment or profit at split off or profit after further processing. It only wants me to directly do the fourth step without doing the first three. Now, in this case, I still have a choice. I can do first three and then do the fourth one. But the problem is these questions, like this question, may hardly carry 3 to 4 marks. For this, if I spend so much time of doing apportionment, profit, and then doing decision making, it may consume a lot of time in exam and it may not be fruitful. So there is a direct method of decision making whereby you can skip the first three steps and you can directly do the decision making. Now here, how that decision making has to be done, we'll understand from this exam question. Second important thing over here is that this particular question should be followed by the direct method which I'm explaining, so that in exams also you save your time, which is very, very critical. Now, what is the data given? A company's plant is processing 1,50,000 of raw material. So it has one raw material which is processed to make two products, P and Q. So from this raw material, you get two products, P, Q. The cost of this raw material is 12. Okay. So I'll just do raw material 12 into 1,50,000. So how much it will be, students? 18 lakhs. And then you have your further additional material cost, labor, variable, fixed. So the total of this is 32410. Other cost. So my cost is 2210. Fine. Now, there is a loss in the process of 5% of input, and the output of P and Q, which will emerge simultaneously, is in the ratio of 1:2. This is something new. So I have 1,50,000 kgs of raw material, from which there will be some loss at the rate of 5%. Correct? No. So 5% of this, yes, it was right, I think 7,500 only. So my output is 1,42,000 kgs, and the ratio between P and Q is 1:2. Right, students? So how much it is coming to the breakup? $142,500. Oh, yes. So 47,500, 95,000. Okay. Great. So I've got this breakup. The selling prices of the two products at the split off stage is 12 and 20. So I can sell it immediately at the rate of rupees 12 and at the rate of rupees 20. This will be my sales value at split off point. First option. Second, a proposal is available to process P further by mixing some other purchase material, and the entire output of plant can be so processed to obtain new product S. So P can be further processed to make S. Okay. There is no loss given over here. So the quantity of S will remain same, 47,500. Okay. Fine. The price of this new product S is rupees 15. So this can be sold for rupees 15. Right? And each kg of output of S will require 1 kg of P. That is okay. So same quantity is made. So Swati is giving me the sales value. It is 5,70,000 of P and 19 lakhs. So Swati has given me 5,70,000 and 19 lakhs. Swati, also find out this 47,500 into 15, how much it comes to. So these are my different figures in the question. 712,500. Okay. So this is 7,12,500. All details done. The cost of processing P into S is rupees 1,80,000. So this is my further processing cost. Okay. So students, now I'm ready with all the figures. Now what is the question asking me? It is simply asking me, will you recommend further processing? Now here they have not asked me to do apportionment, even method is not given. No apportionment asked, no profit at split off asked, no profit after further processing asked. Directly they are asking me decision making, that is whether I should further process P into S. Now here, if I do the first three workings, what we did in the first two questions, it will consume a lot of my time in the exams and it is never recommended. Now if that is the case, then what should I do? I will directly follow another approach of decision making. That is what I'm calling here as my direct method of decision making. What is this direct method of decision making? Please pay attention. It is my fourth sum, right? Direct method of what I will do is I'll take sales value minus sales value at. See, when I subtract this, what I will get, students, understand this logically. After taking the difference of both the sales value, I am getting extra revenue that I am getting from further processing. So the difference of these two will give me what? Extra revenue which I am getting from further processing minus extra cost for further processing. This is what? This is my further processing cost. So mathematically, I got how much extra I will get as revenue from further processing. And for that, how much I have to spend on this further processing. The difference is my net benefit or net loss from further processing. Right? So sales value after further processing, students, is this. That is of S, 7,12,500. Sales value at split off is of P, which was 570. I hope this is clear, students. So what is the extra revenue I'm earning by doing further processing? The extra revenue that I'm earning is 1,42,500. Now, what is the extra cost? The extra cost is 185. Now there is a loss. So students, in this example or in this question, what I find out after doing this working is that by doing further processing of P to S, I'm incurring a loss of 42,500. So what will be my decision or suggestion? Since there is net loss from further processing, hence product P should be sold without further processing. So I hope students this is clear. So our answer is you should sell product B, not S. You will not convert P to S because by doing that, you have a net loss of 42,500. I hope this is clear to everyone. Everyone has understood this working, whatever we discussed just now. Okay, Yamini is saying yes, Om is saying yes. Okay. So students, let me now take you to this sum. I give you all some time to apply your mind and find out answer. Whatever you feel is right. Then I will explain you if by chance you don't get the answer. Shoaib, if extra revenue figure is negative, then no question. Anyways, you will not further process because the revenue itself is getting negative. But practically, it will never happen, Shoaib. It should not happen because if the revenue itself is getting negative, why anybody will make another product out of it? So let us say petrol, when converted into speed, the sale value of speed is less. That is, the extra revenue is negative. So nobody will make speed in the first place now because by making petrol to speed, you are anyways going to incur extra cost. And after incurring the extra cost also, if the sale value of speed is not increasing, rather it is decreasing, why anybody will do that? Right, Shoaib? Chalo students, I give you all some time, maybe 7-10 minutes. Go through this question. Again, this is an exam question and it is slightly detailed than the previous two questions. Chalo, have you all solved something? Should we discuss the answers? Okay, Bhumika has given me some answer. So let me just read for the benefit of all. So inorganic chemical purchases salt. Then it makes two products, caustic soda, chlorine. In fact, a third product is also given, but that is made out of the another product. Now, during April, it has purchased salt for rupees 10 lakhs and the conversion cost is 15 lakhs. So your joint cost is 25 lakhs up to the split off point, at which tune two saleable products were produced, caustic soda and chlorine. So your first two products are caustic soda and chlorine. Chlorine was further processed into PVC. So chlorine is becoming PVC. So this is where the further processing comes. Now the details are given. So in the month of April, you produce 800 tons of chlorine. Chlorine, when further processed into PVC, was 500 tons. And since caustic soda and PVC were sold, so they've given you sales value of both these, that is the prices of both these. We can find out sales value, right? This will be sales value after further processing. So how much are we getting? $15 lakhs here and 25 lakhs here. So this is my sales value after further processing. Now, all the 800 tons of chlorine was further processed at an incremental cost of 5 lakhs. So this is my further processing cost, right? Which yielded 500 tons of PVC. There was no byproduct, no scrap from this particular processing, and there was no beginning or ending inventories. Fine. So this is not much relevant. Now, there is an active market even for chlorine. So you need not further process chlorine to PVC. You can sell the chlorine itself. The company can sell all its production of chlorine at this price. So if you want to sell chlorine, the price is this much. I'll just find out the sales value of chlorine. It will be how much? Chlorine is 800 tons. So I'll write here itself. So 800 into 1875. Correct, na? So 800 into 1875. 15 lakhs. This is what I'm getting the sales value had I sold chlorine. Now, what have they asked us? Calculate joint cost apportionment, how it will be allocated between both these products, and using these methods, split off, physical units, and estimated NRV. Oh, great. Students have already given me answers. That's great. So I've got answers from Bhumika, Swati, Om. Excellent. So first I have to do apportionment of joint cost using three methods. Then they have asked me what is the gross margin percentage of caustic soda and PVC under the three methods. So it is simply you have to find out the profits and then find out the profit percentages. And then comes the C part, which is the decision making part. So let me just first deal with the initial questions. So first is apportionment of joint cost. Method A is split off physical NRV. So A is split off sales value. B is physical units. And C is NRV. Okay. Prior to this, I'll just do calculation of NRV of chlorine. How will I get this? Sales value of PVC minus further processing cost. That will give me NRV. Sales value of PVC was 25 lakhs, right? And further processing cost was 5 lakhs. See students, if you would have observed while reading the question itself, I'm making certain small calculations so that when we are solving the sums, these figures are handy and you need not go back to the entire question. Now my first is joint cost apportionment. Now sales value at split off, right? So if it is sales value at split off you are getting these two products, caustic soda, chlorine, 15-15 equal ratio. So the ratio is 15:15 and I have to do apportionment between my two products, that is caustic soda, chlorine, caustic soda, chlorine, caustic soda, chlorine, right? Physical units method, it is 1200/800. So the ratio for physical units would be 12:8. And under NRV, this will be 15. And this NRV, as we just calculated 25 minus 5, it was coming to 20. So here it is 15:20. Students, I hope everybody got the workings. Now, my joint cost was 25 lakhs. When this 25 is apportioned equally, I get 12.5 lakhs, right? Rupees in lakhs. When it is 12:8, so 7.5. So how much am I getting? 15 and 10. And here I'm getting some odd figure, 1071,429, correct? Something 1071,429. And at the same time, 1428,571. 1428,571. So these are my joint cost, right? So I've apportioned the joint cost. This is part A. Now I have to find out gross margin of caustic soda and PVC under the three methods. So this is answer part A. Now part B, gross margin percentage. Again under the same three methods. Sorry, here now what I'm selling is not chlorine, I'm selling PVC. Sales value, joint cost minus further processing cost. This is my profit, which is over here mentioned as gross margin. And when I divide this gross margin by my sales, gross margin divided by sales, I'll get the percentage also. So 1525. Again, amount rupees in lakhs. 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs. 15 lakhs, 25 lakhs. Joint cost apportioned is 12.5. 10.71 something. 14.28 something. Right, students? Further processing cost. So I hope this is clear to everyone, students. I hope you all recall the figures. I'm not again changing the screens, otherwise it may be confusing to you all. This is 4.28 something. 19. This is 5.71 something. So these are my profits. Now I'll divide these profits by the sales to get the percentage. This I'm getting 30. Please calculate. I'm calculating directly, which I can calculate orally. 40. 2.5 upon 15. 16.66. 4.28. 571 divided by 15. This is 28.57%. 5.71429 divided by 25. 22%. Yes. 16.67, 28.53, 22. Yes. Students, I hope you all got this. So see, the answering is not difficult, but it is, since the question is too much vast with many details, hence we have to be a bit cautious while taking the values. Now see part. Lifetime Swimming Pool Products offers to purchase 800 tons of chlorine in May at this. This sale would mean that no PVC would be made. Would you accept the offer? So basically it is again about decision making. Now see, I can go by my old approach where I can directly compare profits of both the methods, but I only have profit of one method, that is after further processing. So instead of doing that, I will go by the direct method for decision making. So decision making, direct method. Sales value after further processing, that is of PVC, minus sales value at split off. This will be my extra from further processing minus extra cost for further processing. This will be my net benefit or loss. What is my sales value? This is 25. This is 15. So extra revenue I'm getting is 10. Extra cost is 5. So net benefit from further processing is 5. Now what I'll say is, since the company earns extra benefit of rupees 5 lakhs from sale of PVC. Hence, offer for chlorine should be rejected. Because if you accept the offer for chlorine, this 5 lakhs you will lose. Hence, it is advisable that you do not accept the offer for chlorine. Right, students? Is this clear to everyone? Anybody has any questions or doubts in this? No? Just give me a 2-minute break. I hope this is understood by everyone, students. So let us proceed. Now coming to another interesting question or rather interesting part in this chapter, that is treatment of byproducts. Now for this, let us first understand what this byproduct business is. So see, when we are doing processing, as we saw, you may get multiple products as your output. Same example, petrol, diesel, kerosene, and grease. Now, many times it may happen that while doing processing, your intention is to make these products only, which are your main products. So petrol is my main product, diesel, kerosene, because these are main products for which I am doing this processing. However, there is a possibility that during the processing, there could be some waste that you may get, but that waste is also saleable as a product. So in the eyes of the market, they are not looking at this as a waste. For them, this is also a usable product. Like I've given you example, practical example of grease. So when you are processing crude oil, the oil refineries, when they process crude oil to get petrol, diesel, kerosene, the thick part of the oil, the greasy part of the oil, which is removed while refining, while processing, is the grease, which we all know is a very usable product in the market. It is used for greasing all your vehicles. Also, it is part of all the petroleum jellies that now during winters we are going to use. Now, this particular grease, even though arising as a waste during the processing, but since it is saleable as a product, it is known in the market as a product, the company does not calls it as a waste, they call it as a byproduct. So now you have two types of products. One is the main product. Now since main product is more than one, we call it as joint products. So you have three main products, that is the products which you intend to make, that is joint products. And then you have a waste, which is not your main intention. It is not a product for you, but since it is known in the market, sellable in the market, hence we are treating it as a product, which is over here called as a byproduct. Now the question comes as to treatment of. Now the question is, what will you do if you get a byproduct? So like in our example, we have four products: petrol, diesel, kerosene, grease. And now we know that grease is a byproduct. So what we can do of this grease? The answer is there are two treatments suggested. Now these two treatments are based on whether the sale value, or over here let us call it as the net realizable value of your byproduct is significant, or the net realizable value of byproduct is insignificant or small. Now, if the net realizable value, what is net realizable value? Sale value minus selling cost. So that is what is NRV. Even in accounting standard 2, we have studied this. So NRV, that is a net sale value after deducting the selling commission and the selling cost, is significant. Significant means it is large. It is a decent amount. Then the answer is treat it as main product. That is, now you don't consider it as a waste, treat it as a main product, which will mean what? Apportion joint cost to byproduct as well, along with main product. So first option is treated as your main product. What do you mean by treating it as main product? You will charge joint cost even to the byproduct. So in all these examples, the above examples that we solved, assuming that M was your byproduct, just for example. Now we have considered it as our main product. Why? Because the sale value, as you can see, of M is significant. It is not very small. It is in fact larger than the other main products. Now, since it has a significant sale value, we are treating it as main product. What do you mean by treating it as main product? We have charged joint cost to it. See, we have charged joint cost to M also. That is, we are considering it as our main product. So we are even giving it a joint cost, means we will forget it is our waste. We will consider it as our joint product or main product only. But where the sale value of it is insignificant or small, then we will treat it as waste. What do you mean by waste? Treat it as scrap. What do you mean by treat it as scrap? In this case, we will subtract the net realizable value of byproduct from the joint cost. So what we were doing in process costing and all, whatever was our waste was whatever was our scrap. When we were doing the costing, the total cost we were having, from that we were reducing the scrap value of that particular waste or scrap. The same treatment we are going to do here. So we are going to subtract, we are going to reduce the net realizable value of that byproduct from our joint cost. It means we are not going to consider it as our main product. We are going to consider it as our scrap only. So this is what is the treatment given. First, this is important for theory. Also, it may be used in a practical question. How? I will explain. Just give me a minute. Swati is asking, sir, if it is insignificant, can we directly charge to costing P&L? Okay. Swati, see, that is also a possibility that if it is insignificant, we can charge it to costing P&L. But if you remember process costing, whenever you have scrap, the rule says you deduct the scrap value from your total cost while doing costing. Here, our total cost is our joint cost. So the more appropriate approach is to reduce it from your joint cost and not to transfer it to costing P&L. See, what happens when you transfer it to costing P&L, or what things are transferred to costing P&L? We transfer to costing P&L those things which are abnormal. Byproduct is not abnormal. It is part and parcel. Whenever you are doing processing, you will get byproduct. Somebody is asking, Bhumika, sir, in practical life, how do we identify whether NRV of byproduct is significant or not? This is a very logical question, beta. This is really appreciable, the question that you have asked. So I'll just repeat the question again. So Bhumika is asking, sir, how do we know that whether the sale value or the NRV of my byproduct is significant? So answer is, beta, see, just compare the sale values or the NRVs of your products. So like in this case, now assuming M was your scrap or the byproduct. Now, if you compare the sale values or the NRVs, you will find that M is having a value of 30,000, whereas your other main products are having 5.6, 2.6. It means M is having a considerable value. Had the value of M, for example, been only 1,000, 1,500, then I would have considered it as insignificant. So simply, beta, as we see na, scrap value, when you say scrap value, what is scrap value? It is very nominal. As compared to your total cost, the scrap value is hardly 2 to 5 to 7%. So where your scrap value, or here I will say, is very low as compared to the value of other products. This is how you'll find out whether it is significant or insignificant. I hope you would have understood this, beta. Right, Bhumika? So it was a really appreciable question. So the answer is that you will compare it with other products, and then comparatively you will decide whether it is significant or insignificant. Okay? Excellent. Now I'll take a practical sum so that you'll understand this practically as well, how this concept is applied. So this is a very old sum which I got. So the output and other details of different products emerging at split off point is as under. So output is, the quantities are this. Further processing cost is this. Selling price is this. Now, of these A, B, D are joint products and C is a byproduct. The total joint cost as split off point is 20 lakhs, which is apportioned using physical units method. So the method to be applied is physical units. Now find out the cost of each product if C is treated as main product and if C is treated as scrap. So I've just taken both the examples over here so that you can understand what is the treatment of both the options, whether when C is main product, when C is byproduct, that is scrap, right? Statement showing total cost of each product if product C is considered as main product. Now, if product C is considered as main product, students, it means you will apportion your joint cost to all the products, including C, because C is main product. So C is like all other joint products. So simply what you will do is joint cost apportioned in ratio of physical units. So in this question, how much is your joint cost? 20 lakhs. What are your units? 45, 42, 10, 25. 10 and 25. So this becomes my ratio in which I will be dividing 20 lakhs. So 87, 97. So 20 lakhs apportion in the ratio of 7 to multiplied by 45. So the amount which I'm getting for A is 737,705. Just cross check, students. Here I'm getting 6 lakhs 88,524. Four zero nine. Nine, 63934. Fine. Now second option. If product C is considered as scrap. Now, if you are considering it as scrap, you will apportion the cost only to your main products, that is A, B, and D. So joint cost apportion in ratio of physical units. It will be apportioned between what? Only A, B, and D. So the ratio will be 45, 42, and 25, ignoring C. But for this, firstly, we have to find out the joint cost that will be apportioned. So your original joint cost is 20 lakhs. From that, we will deduct the NRV of product C. Now, what is this NRV of product C? So selling price of C is 6. 6 into 10,000 minus 2,000. Net joint cost 1942. So this net joint cost we will apportion between ABD in this ratio. Are you getting this? So let us do that. 19,42,000 in this ratio, that is ignoring now C. Now the cost which I'm getting is 780 268. $433. So this is how you will apportion students in both the methods. Hope this is understood by all. Is it clear to all students? Great. Super. Now I have one more comprehensive sum, but before that, I would like to take you all to the module then, so that we can just check if there is anything different in the module. So as what I think Shoaib was also saying. So we'll go to the module. So let us go to the module, students. So see the methods of apportionment. Most common methods are physical units method, NRV method, and using technical estimates, whereby the experts will give you the method. Other than these, some other methods are market value at the point of separation, market value after further processing, average cost per unit, contribution margin. So all these methods are explained. Physical units method, where you divide it in the ratio of physical units. This is the most simplest methods. So we all know how to do this, right? NRV at split off point method. Now here to arrive at the sales value at split off, following are deducted from the sales value after final processing. So what are to be deducted? Directly attributable selling distribution expenses, post split off processing costs. So when you deduct these two, you get the NRV. So we have seen this. So sales value after further processing minus if any profit margin is given, minus selling distribution cost if given, and post split off cost, that is further processing cost. Generally these two are not given, so you are only given the post split off cost that you deduct, you get NRV. See here also, as you can see, sale value minus further processing cost, you get NRV, and then this becomes the ratio for apportioning joint cost. Technical estimates, this is you hire experts and the experts will give you the ratio. Then sales value at the point of separation, that is sales value at split off. So in this, you will apportion the total joint cost in the ratio of sales value that you get at the split off point, which is again simple. We have done this in our two of the sums. Average cost per unit method, students, is same like physical units method. So here also you will divide the total cost by the total units and you will apportion the cost in the ratio of the physical unit. So simply 60,000 divided by 1,000. That is how you'll apportion. Now contribution margin method, this is what Shoaib was mentioning. So I'll just explain what is this contribution margin method. This appears to be slightly complicated, but it is not. So what is this contribution margin method? According to this method, joint cost will be segregated into two parts, fixed and variable. So this method is possible only when in the sum, whatever is the joint cost, they have given you the bifurcation that out of this joint cost, this much is fixed and this much is variable. So let me also take a practical example to explain you this. What example I can take? So, okay, chalo, I'll take my own example. So let us say the joint cost given is rupees 50 lakhs, out of which, let us say the question says fixed portion and variable portion. This is 30 lakhs and this is 20 lakhs. Now, until unless this breakup of joint cost into fixed and variable is given, you cannot follow the margin method, right? So for following the margin method, you need to first have this. Now comes the most important part. The variable cost will be apportioned on the basis of physical units method. So what I will do is, in this particular case, for apportioning joint costs, so let us say I have 4 products A, B, C, D. I have my variable joint cost, that is this 30 lakhs. This I will apportion in ratio of physical units. I'm just assuming the ratio given of physical units in the question comes to 18, 20, 12. How much this becomes? 30, 50. Right? So this is what is the breakup given. Now, if I go by this breakup, I get 9 lakhs. This as the joint cost. Right? 19, 11, 30. So first part is break up the joint cost into variable and fixed, and whatever is the variable portion of joint cost, apportion it divided between your products in the ratio of units. Now comes the interesting point. In case the products are further processed after the point of separation, then all variable costs incurred be added to variable cost determined earlier. Okay. In this way, total variable cost is arrived. Fine. This is not important. Now this is important. The fixed costs are then apportioned in the ratio of the contribution. This is what is interesting. You have to apportion fixed costs in the ratio of contribution. Now, what is contribution? If you remember your marginal costing chapter, in that you would have studied this term contribution, which is what? Which is your sales value minus the variable cost. Right, students? Yes, Swati, you are right, beta. Now, so now you have the variable portion. So we will deduct this variable portion from our sales value at split off. Now again, I'm assuming these are the sales value given in the sum. Now, see, variable joint cost, you apportion in the physical units method. Now, when you deduct sales value and variable cost, what you get is your contribution margin. So how much I'm getting this contribution margin? Relax. 10 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs. So this is my contribution margin 3, 10, 3, 2. Now the fixed joint cost, whatever is left, will be apportioned in ratio of contribution margin. That is 3 is to 10 is to 3 is to 2. So this balance 20 lakhs, you divide it in this ratio. So what I get? 20 lakhs divided in this ratio into 3. So I'm getting 3,33,333. 11 lakhs, 11,111. Right? And 2,22,222. So see here, my joint cost is divided in two parts. First, A, variable portion, B, fixed portion. Now, when I want to find out what is the total joint cost that I have apportioned to each product, that will be A plus B. So 9 plus 333 is 12, 33, 333. 10 plus 11, 21, 11, 111. 6 plus 3, 9, 33, 333. 5, 2, 7, 22, 2, 2, 2. Is this clear? Is this understood, students? Any questions, doubts? Yes? Great. Som says he has understood. Shoaib is also now saying, sir, it is clear. Excellent. Chalo. So see, these are the various methods. They have given a summary: physical units, NRV, technical estimates, which would be given, market value at the point of separation, market value after further processing, average unit methods. So these are the various methods. Now, using these methods, they have given you different sums. See, this was the sum which we just solved from our notes also. Now, comes to the next point, that is method of apportionment of joint cost to byproducts. Now, what is this? Apportionment of joint cost to byproducts. But the first point is, before we decide the method, we have to first decide or answer the question whether we have to apportion joint cost to the byproduct or not, for which I explained that depends upon whether the byproduct is of significant value or of nominal value. If the byproduct is of significant value, only then you will apportion the joint cost to the byproducts. If the byproduct is of insignificant value, that is, it is scrap only, in that particular case, you will not apportion the joint cost to the byproducts. Rather, you will reduce the sale value or the NRV of the byproducts from the joint cost. And the balance joint cost is apportioned only to the main products. So this is how, firstly, there are two options before you decide on the methods. Now, let us say you go for option 1 because the sale value of your byproducts is significant. Obviously, you'll go to option 1. When you go to option 1, then you select the method. As to which method you have to adopt, answer is the method for apportioning joint cost to your byproducts is the same that you use for apportioning joint cost to your main products. So for main products, if I've used physical units, for byproducts, I'll use same. If for main products, I've used NRV, for byproducts, I'll use the same, right? So see, what are the methods they have also given? NRV method, standard cost or technical estimate, comparative price, reuse. So all this is just theoretical. That is not practical use. Practically, the answer is same. We will use the same method which we use for main products. Otherwise, you can also understand mathematically the cost will not get apportioned. So now, firstly, as I said, before you find out the method, the first thing that you have to find out is whether or not we have to transfer or we have to charge the joint cost to the byproducts. And the answer lies here, the treatment of byproducts in. So when they are of small value, so where byproduct is of nominal value, insignificant value, then the first option is the sale value of byproduct may be credited to costing P&L. This is one of the options, but as I think Bhumika or somebody asked me about this, so I said this option is generally not followed, but this option can be followed if you consider them as abnormal. So this is our general rule in costing, that whatever is abnormal goes to P&L. So if you are considering your byproducts as abnormal, that is they have arisen or they have resulted over and above the normal percentage, then you can adopt to this particular treatment, which will generally not happen because byproducts are something which we expect normally. But yes, if it is excess in this particular period, in that particular case, you can use this method. Then generally, what is the method adopted? Since the byproducts are happening normally, it is a normal part and parcel of my business that whenever I will make main products, there will be some waste coming out, which is byproducts. Then what is the treatment? The treatment is you will show it as a deduction from the total cost. So whatever is your total cost, that is whatever is the joint cost, you will reduce the sale proceeds or the NRV of the byproducts from the joint cost, and the balance joint cost you will apportion within your products. This is where the byproducts are of insignificant value, of very small value. So obviously it has to be treated like scrap only. So what we do of scrap will happen of byproducts. Second possibility is your byproducts are of considerable value. So if the sale value of byproducts is significant, and again, I think Bhumika had asked, sir, how we will decide whether it is significant or insignificant. I said that compare it with other products. So if your other products, which are your main products, and the byproducts are having similar value, the values are nearly the same, in that particular case, we will say that our byproducts are of considerable value. And where our byproducts are of considerable value, we will adopt this approach. What is the approach? You will treat them as main products and not scrap. And what do you mean by treat them as main products? Now you will charge joint cost even to them. So like how we were charging joint cost to main products, now we will consider our waste, that is our byproducts, also as the main product and charge cost to them also. Third, when they require further processing. Now we have already solved a sum 13 where the byproducts were requiring further processing. In this case, what you will do, the net realizable value of the byproduct, the NRV of the byproduct at split off point may be arrived at. How? Subtracting the further processing cost from the sale value of the byproduct. So we also did the same thing. The sale value was 60,000, further processing was 2,000. So we got NRV 58,000. Now we will again apply the above two approaches. What is that? If the sale value of byproduct is small, it is insignificant, then it may be treated as per provisions A. That is, you'll reduce it from the joint cost, what we did in our 13th sum in the second part. Or if the amount is significant, it will be treated as discussed in B above. That is, it would be treated as your main product and the joint cost would be apportioned even to the byproducts. So this is what exactly we studied when we were solving our last question, where I solved it by both the options, that joint products is treated as main product or joint product is treated as scrap, that is, it will be considered as a waste. Fine. So students, this is what is the entire topic about, right? So now we are given some theory questions, which I'm sure you all will be able to solve. So let me know, students, if you have any further questions or doubts. Let me just quickly take you through my last question. Yes. Now the last question which I'm having, I have named it as comprehensive. Why? Because it is the combination of process costing and your joint products, byproducts. How? Please pay attention. So there are three joint products. Sorry, not there are three joint products. Three joint products are produced by passing a chemical through two consecutive processes. So when one input of chemical passes through two processes, you get three joint products, which is arising at the end of process 2. So output of process 1 is transferred to process 2, and in process 2, you get the joint products, which are immediately sold. So there is no further processing, at least in the first part of the question. Now, the data given is for process 1, your main raw material input was 2,500 at 4. You incurred labor, you incurred overheads. There was normal loss of 10%. The loss had scrap value of 2 and the output was 2300. So there is no opening or closing WIP. So no need to prepare equivalent statement, right? Now this output will obviously become input of the second process. And here you incur these costs. Here there is no loss, no scrap value. And now whatever is the output is 3 products. A, B, C, right? Now what you are required to do is, you are required to prepare process 1 along with the loss or gain account, whatever you consider necessary. So what will happen, students? We will prepare process 1. In process 1, you will get the cost of this output, which will become the input cost of process 2. And in process 2, when you'll add these costs, you'll get the total cost, which will become your joint cost. And then this joint cost, you will apportion between these 3 products using the method which is given. What are the methods given? First option given is physical units, which is there in the question. Second is by taking the market value. How will you get the market value? You are given the selling prices. So students, why this sum I have taken specifically over here? Because this sum is a combination of process and joint products both. And if you remember, I had explained at the start of our today's session that actually logically joint product comes from the process costing chapter only. So first process costing happens, you find out cost of each process using the process costing chapter, and from there you come to this chapter of joint products and byproducts. So I hope, student, I made the entire point very clear. I hope this is clear to everyone. Everybody has understood all the different aspects of this chapter. Is this clear, students? Anybody, any questions left in this chapter? Kindly let me know so that I can answer your question, so that this entire topic would be completely done for you for exams. Students, anything left from my side which you want me to answer or clear relating to this chapter, this particular entire joint product byproduct concept? Please let me know. Okay, Yamini says clear. Swati says understood. Anybody else, students, having any doubts? Okay, for Kiran also it is clear. Om is clear. Shoaib is saying done, sir. Thank you. Achha, Om Sagar is saying, sir, PDF not updated. But I updated at the start of this session again. When I think the other Om informed me, I uploaded the PDF. Students, you are not having this PDF? Oh, maybe I think our technical team will approve it and then you'll get it. So I'll request technical team to please approve the PDF which I have uploaded. Fine. Excellent, students. So please study well and let us catch up with your doubts. Thank you. Thank you all. Study well. Take care. Bye-bye. Technical team, thank you very much. We close our today's session.